Hi, welcome to DTS Tech Fit. So today we're going to be going through assignment 4 for unit 13. We're going to go through the different sections and the different tasks that we need to complete in order to pass this unit. And if you are at assignment 4, well done, you have arrived. We are now completing the entire unit, and this is a review of the final website and the final design. So we're gonna go through that. I won't be recording my face on the other sections, but you will be hearing my voice. So subscribe to us, like the video. I will see you in the next section. Bye. Well, hello there again. This is the introduction of the review. So we are gonna be literally just going through each section on here. I won't be reading it because you can clearly see it. However, this is what we are going to be completing up to a distinction level. And we'll be going through those in more details in the later part of the video. The three main objectives you will be covering for this assignment is: one, you have to explain how the final website is suitable for the intended audience and purpose. After which, you're going to review the extent to which the finished website meets the needs of purpose and user requirements while considering feedback from others and constraints. And finally, for your D4 or your distinction task, you need to evaluate the final website against the design and justify any change made, making recommendations for further improvements. So we're going to start off by going through the introduction and then P7 and then M6 and finally D4. So see you in the next part of the video, and remember, I will be showing my face, so I'll see you. For the assignment introduction, there are three things that you need to include. First, you need to include a definition of the word review, an explanation of why it is important to review the final version of a website. Finally, you need to include the criteria to be covered in the body of the assignment. Also included on the slide is the introduction of someone who has already completed this course. Is only an example, so you can see they've added a few things, not all of which I've asked you to do, but please follow the guide in the purpose section because that's what I need for you to complete for this assignment. For P7, you need to explain how the final website is suitable for the intended audience and purpose. And we're also going to explain how the client requirements have been met in this section of the assignment. There'll be a few things that you need to add. First, you need to just give a brief background as to what the company is about, because that will help to give it just a little storyline, a background of how we started and who we started with, especially the name of the client, which we should all know is Mobile World Station, and it is a mobile phone shop. I won't be reading this. I've just added it here for you as an example. You can read through it. You can pause the video and you can just use it as a guide to complete this section of the assignment. For this section of the assignment, you need to go back to assignment 2, because in assignment 2 we did define the purpose of the website. We defined the audience, the target audiences of the website, and also the client requirements. As you can see on this section of the P7 task, we have copied the list of requirements that we defined in assignment 2. So it gives just a clearer view of what we need to work on for the client. So what we would have completed or need to be working on completing for the assignment. For the assignment, you need to ensure that at least most of these are covered. And if they're not covered or completed, or you've not embedded it or created your website with them included on your website pages, then you would need to give specific justification or a good argument as to why you have not done this task. For this part of the P7 assessment, we're going to explain how the website met the requirements. So the client requirements that were defined in assignment 2, we're going to have a look at it, and we're going to just assess how we have designed our web pages around what the client has asked for. Some of the information that you can add is on the slide as well. It's only an example. Please do not plagiarize this assessment. You need to just use it as a guide. In the final section of the P7 task, I want to ask you to snip the different pages, web pages that you have created, and then you're going to annotate it. So you're going to annotate these as to say how you have met it. So it's just evidence really to back up what you have said previously. So now you're showing imagery of the assets that you have added to your website to prove that you have done it and you have met the purpose, the audiences, and the client requirements. So now that you have completed your P7 task, you are now at your M6 task. So for the M6 task, it's quite similar to the P7. It's just in more details. And for this bit as well, you're gonna actually look at the research, the design, and the implementation of your final design from different angles. You are gonna look at your different pages. You're gonna look at your design compared to what you have implemented on your slides, and you're gonna just give a review on these. This is an example as well. I will say this, and I'll probably say it throughout the entire video. It's only a guide. Please do not plagiarize it. It's only a guide. It's some of the information that you will be able to use in order to get a good grade in this assessment. So as M6 has more information that you need to add, you need to ensure that you cover a lot of bases in terms of what you have included, what you have designed, and how you have done so. So you need to continue the review, and it's where you're going to review your design as well. And as I said, more information for you to just have a look and to help you put your thoughts together about the assignment. The requirement as well, you need to add those. You need to talk about your page styles. If you use CSS, you need to talk about those. You need to say how you've tested the website and what fix you have done, if you have done any, if you have found any errors, how you fix that. And you just need to go through the assignment in a more detailed manner when it comes on to M6, because for your M6, you need to show greater understanding of the task in terms of your design, your implementation. So for M6, you need to add any design constraints you have encountered, any constraints, so literally anything that you have struggled with. And it's important that you justify these, and you need to give strong arguments as to why you have not completed a particular task if you haven't, and if you have within for example time management could be a constraint where you had to complete the website in a short period of time, because that means that it could affect the way in which you created the website. So you need to look into the different constraints, and as I will say again and throughout the video, this is only an example, so just use it as a guide. For M6, you also need to include 2 questionnaires, and I will reiterate 2 questionnaires. If you don't have 2 questionnaires completed for your M6 assessment, then you will fail this assessment. You won't get a merit, you'll get probably a pass. So ensure that you complete the questionnaires and make reference to these when you're justifying it, making any justification in the D4 section of the assignment. Now that you have completed P7 and M6, you're going to work through completing your D4. For D4, you need to evaluate the final website against the design and justify any changes made, making recommendations for further improvements. As you can see, when you're completing a task, you need to pay attention to specific words. So you need to justify any changes, so any changes you've made, and the sample here, as you can see from someone else's assignment, they have justified the initial design and the final design. So what they have designed when they were in the design phase and what they implemented at the end of the implementation stage where they're creating the website. So you need to try to have screenshots of both, and then it will just give a better view of the changes that you have made. So now that you're at the recommendation stage of D4, it means that you're doing well and you have completed majority of the task or all of the tasks, which you should have done so in order to get a good grade on this assessment. So you can't forget your recommendations. If you don't include your recommendations for D4, you will not pass. So ensure that you look at the feedback that you've received, you look at the design phase and what you have done when you were creating or implementing your design, so that you can just have a great overview of what you could have done better or what improvements were needed. So thank you for watching. Hope you had a fun day. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.